What's up, everyone? Welcome to the next layer where we go beyond the surface with athletes, adventurers, and thinkers pushing their limits in the field. This show is powered by Elos, where we make elite thermal gear um, for performance in any climate. The host of this podcast is myself, Thunlwyn Garcia. You can just call me T, and one of my co-founders, Anthony Dragisics. A little bit about me. I played soccer at Mount St. Mary's for 4 years. I enjoy running. I can kind of fish. I can kind of ski. I can kind of do a bunch of stuff. Um, but I just anything in the outdoors, I just enjoy trying. It's a really big passion of mine, and one of the reasons why I wanted to just, I guess, talk more about being in hot and cold weather, I guess. Because
That's
I
pretty
love
cool,
it so
man.
much.
That's pretty
Uh,
cool, man. It's a little weird that you love it that much, but that's pretty cool.
it is weird. It is weird that I love it so much. It's super weird.
Um, well, thanks for the tee up, man. By the way, this is episode one. Really excited that you guys are all joining us. And thanks for not introducing me, but I'm Anthony Dragisis. I'm the other host of this podcast, co-founder, COO. As T is, and as everyone in the company is, we're all ex Division One soccer players, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I also share probably not to the same degree as T, but similar passion for the outdoors. I also love running. I think I'm the definitely the self-proclaimed performance guru of the bunch, trying to get T to care about performance a little bit more sometimes. But yeah, no, I do marathons. I love strength training. As T said as well, love dabbling in any outdoor activity I can try. So really excited to be, kicking this thing off with a really cool episode we have planned. We're going to talk about some cold weather war stories today, which will be pretty interesting. I know T and I have some fun ones for sure. Yeah, then we'll talk about like gear hacks because I think everyone has a different strategy for how they cope with the cold, which is super fascinating and why we ended up starting Elos. And so yeah, then we'll kind of wrap it up. Pretty short today, but we're super stoked. So yeah, I'll just jump in, man. I'm really eager to talk about this cold experience that I have because now that I actually it's my job to know the negative impact of the cold. I didn't really know at the time, and I feel like no one, especially in like field sports like soccer, lacrosse, and football, really actually understands the impact of the cold. T, I don't know what you think about that, but that's definitely what we've seen going through this process so far.
Yeah, no, the cold sucks. Um, I think that's what we found out. A lot of people hate it. It is super frustrating that it's just you go out and to whatever sport you're playing and it's like it's cold. Deal with it. There's not really
Right.
like a solution for it. Hence the name, the next layer. There's just the only solution really is just layering or unlayering clothes.
Yeah.
Like if it's super hot, just trying to run and as little as clothing as possible, and when it's freezing, putting as many layers as possible.
Right.
So yeah, definitely some hatred, I guess, to the cold.
Yeah, man, because like it's usually people associate it with the mental side of it, but it's actually the physical side. Like there's a thing called warming up that we all do no matter the weather outside.
Yeah, no, you
But like
actually run slower in cold. Like it's
yeah,
an
no,
actual thing. Like
it's
it's
crazy
not
and
okay. It's not good.
it's crazy. I literally that's what I was, being the performance guru that I am, I saw a stat before this that essentially like negative 20 degrees Celsius, so like 15, what is that? 12 degrees Fahrenheit as you progressively go down 5 degrees, your performance drops like 38% or something like that, or your endurance level drops like 38%, which is like crazy every time you drop 5 degrees from 12 degrees. And obviously, 12 degrees is a crazy outlier, but even between 32 and 12 degrees, your performance is dropping. Even at 40 degrees, your performance is dropping. You aren't even realizing it, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, no, like I said, I definitely have a moment that comes to mind for me. And that is my junior season at Villanova. So I guess at this point, that's 4 years ago, washed up. But yeah, we made the NCAA tournament and the second round game. Well, the first round game was in Vermont at Vermont in November, which was a whole story in and of itself. But really, what sticks out in my mind is Notre Dame, and like T, I know you felt this too playing, where like it's so funny, like night and day. The day before, right? It was basically the same temperature at kickoff. We trained at night, we played at like a 7 p.m. game mid-November in South Bend, Indiana. The night before, we're training at the same time the game. It's like 15 degrees. Everyone has winter hat, double gloves, pants, tights, everything, right? And then you get to the game and you have crazy dudes like me just wearing short sleeves, right? Like it's so funny, like how the layer, like you layer and like know that you should be. And then when it gets to the game, it's like we've been taught all our lives, like tough it up, like no gloves, no
Yeah,
under,
it's
like
fucking
no
crazy,
nothing
dude.
under your jersey. Like it's literally like one of those. But yeah, so like it's funny. Like I was always the guy that, like, I guess it's from my dad and like my coaches growing up. But like I was always the guy that never wore anything in the game. Like I was the guy that always went short sleeve no matter the temperature, no gloves. Maybe gloves, but usually never gloves because I don't like the
It's
soccer
so
players that
it's so
wear
stupid.
gloves and no undershirt. But yeah, no, like I would literally do that. And like now that I know, like again, I think I'm the performance guru, yet I didn't even realize that I'm literally like have the decreased endurance, decreased muscle strength, flexion, everything when I'm doing something like that. And when I really realized it, like I always did it, like I said, but in that game specifically, funny story, um, when we were down 2-0, I got a red card in the last 10 minutes. And me in my short sleeves, obviously, when you get a red card in soccer, you're escorted to the locker room. Somehow I finagled my way to come out of the locker room. And as I went out of the locker room, like I didn't bring a jacket, everything was in the locker room. I realized just how damn cold it was sitting there. And like, I literally, my toes and fingers froze right away. The first things to go as I was sitting there on the bench. But I didn't even realize it. Yet, the entire time, my performance was being impacted. And I know everyone has a story like this, but it's just crazy to think back and realize like how stupid I was to be doing what I was doing and trying to be tough without even realizing the impact on my performance.
Pretty dumb.
I know, man. I know. I know. You can thank my hard-nosed father for instilling these crazy habits of mine without really looking at research, which everyone should be doing.
Um, yeah, I when the the uncomfortability that you felt there, that's what really there's just been like weird moments in my life I feel where I just like really hated cold weather. Um,
Yeah.
just hate. Like I genuinely have a disdain for it. Anthony knows I won't do anything if it's slightly cold. I
Exactly.
will I will wear as much thermals for whatever. So I'll probably wear a thermal in this game. Anthony's trying to play me on Sunday, even though it's
Yeah,
May.
that's crazy.
Um, I probably will. Yeah, no, when I was like 13, when I was like 12, I was like middle school, however you are in middle school, I learned to fish.
Hmm.
And I just learned to fish around the time. And then for Christmas I got a rod. And I didn't know this yet, but fish aren't really a thing in the winter.
They don't like the
And
cold, bro.
they don't like the cold either, man. It's a market these companies are missing the fish market. But I I I got I took my rod that I got an ugly stick and I was so happy. It was like my first one. And I went to the stream by my house and you get there, you have to you have to like it's like you have to like pull off on the side of the road. My mom dropped me off. I like jumped out the car and I didn't realize how cold it was. And you have to walk like a mile. It starts snowing. And then I like go into this like I'm in this kind of foresty area. The the damn lake's frozen. So I can't even fish. So I'm like, I was so mad. It's snowing. I remember, but specifically, I remember this because I had like the worst shoes possible. That they were like this mesh material where it was like Skechers or something, and like the snow is like going in, and my toes were starting to freeze, and I was like so far away, and like I couldn't run because it's like a foresty area,
Yeah.
so they kind of like bundle in over. You know where this is? This is where I took you to fish for the first
Nah,
time.
don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. I'm not
Is that
against fishing, but I have a really bad experience that I don't want.
this
That's a whole
it's in
episode.
that
That's for a whole episode, dude.
but it's that area.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
that
know what you're
area.
talking about. I know what you're talking
So
about.
I you can't run back, and I just remember being absolutely miserable with this new rod that I really don't want to like mess up. Just trying to walk back, and my toes are freezing, and they're hurting so bad. And then I had to call my mom, and she ran an errand, so I had to like wait for like 40 minutes. And I just remember as the snow was just coming down, like my toes were literally about to fall off. And that was probably the biggest moment I've had when I was like a kid, like realizing, oh my God, I hate this. I
Yeah.
genuinely hate this so much. Um, but yeah,
Your mom didn't show you how to cut a hole in the ice to go ice fishing that
she did
day?
not. She did not. She left that lesson out. She did leave that lesson out.
No, dude, but it's crazy, man. It's like it's instant, especially when you get temperatures that cold. It's always the toes or the fingers, both for some people, one or the other for others, but it always goes, man. And just general gears lacking. I mean, it's funny, like the what really did it for me, and I'm sure you might have a funny story like this, but the one that I remember is, as T mentioned, we dabble in skiing nowadays. And when I was on the mountain this winter, um, I was, doing some guerrilla marketing for our product, and I was talking to this young kid on the slopes, and we were just talking. It was like, we were in New Hampshire. It was like 15 degrees that day on top of the mountain. I was just
Uh-huh.
talking to someone, one of these like young kids, just randomly, like, see if he would want to try an insult and see if he thought it was cool. And he was we were about to go in the cafe at the top at the peak. Um, and he was like unclipping his skis. And he was like, "Man, like look at this. This is what I do." And again, this is like a 15-year-old kid, so it was really funny. He like takes his boot off, and it was a latex glove around his socks to stop the cold. Um, I don't know
You're
about,
like,
but
dude,
again, there's
you're
got to be
like, dude,
something
what are
better.
you doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's people are just because it's not really a thing. Like it's just one of those things in society that's just kind of accepted, which is odd.
Yeah.
Um, that's it is what it is, and you just gotta kind of suck it up. And there's so much technology now that it just doesn't make sense for something not to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. And like we talked about layering a lot. We talked about like the different thermal options and like warming up and all of this stuff. And I think just the biggest thing that we're trying to educate on too is the difference between like, or not that there isn't a difference between a mental and physical preparation for cold. Like most people just associate the mental side, like, okay, I just got to get over this hurdle, 30 minutes out there, like I'll warm up, body heat. But at the end of the day, like they're intertwined, and being warm actually helps you, and that's what I think a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. And I think I don't know, but it is there is some like the ski story you just said about the kid that's something interesting. There's a lot of people, especially more like people doing like really intense outdoor activities,
Hmm.
like hiking in the winter, they're climbing, doing an ascent of something that everybody has like their own niche little thing that works, like that latex
Right,
sock thing.
right,
Like
right.
people definitely do, and that's super cool to find out. That whatever it is that works for them, like keeping their hands warm or stuff. It's pretty
Yeah,
neat, like the niche little things that they built for themselves.
yeah, yeah. It's dope, but again, like, you know,
Have
that's
you
I
heard the
mean,
cayenne pepper thing?
now it's a is it like when
Like,
you throw it up or something in the cold?
no, no. What?
What is it?
Well, this might be totally lying. I have no idea actually. But I'm pretty sure some people
Please keep this off the record.
I'm pretty sure there's some people I don't know. Somebody told me once, like if you're ever like really cold, like there's some like spices you can eat beforehand that'll keep your
Oh
like
yeah.
internals like warmer.
Yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
maybe I don't know. I to be honest, I don't even know what cayenne pepper is, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. Like
a very
Um,
popular cooking spice.
yeah. Well, is it
But
hot?
you don't throw it up. Yeah, yeah,
Is it hot?
it's spicy. You don't throw it up in the air and see
Okay.
if it's cold or not. That's
I
not a
mean, I
thing.
don't know, man. Like, I don't know, but I was thinking about like, imagine you ate a couple jalapenos before you did something.
Dude, the some of these tactics are great. If you have a funny tactic, please share it with us. We would love to have a laugh about a funny tactic for you guys that you guys use to cope with the cold
Dude,
because
the tactics are really good. The
yeah.
tactics work. I swear. I live and die by those tactics. Like there was the one that I use, besides Elo's eating insoles, the one I used,
Nice plug.
uh, I know, the one that I used to use in college was whenever, like, besides my feet being freezing, I would have, my like my fingers like frozen like all the time, like especially like the little like the end parts.
Yeah.
And so the it's like the heating machine with all of the heating bags that you place on your body for like warmth, to like for like treatment, like
Hmm.
post game. It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a boiler. It's a boiler.
Yeah.
I used to put my fingers in the boilers and then
Ugh,
quickly put on those like neoprene gloves, and then like I felt like that would like give me like instant boost, and then
interesting.
I would skedaddle on the field,
Interesting.
and
Mm.
try to warm up that way. But no, that was mine. But I was convinced, and I was so
Yeah.
convinced that that was better than anything I was doing.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean that I was actually going to bring that up to the NFL players that we heard those stories about the kickers and the punters. Same thing, like on the sideline they have these coals or whatever, like just I don't know if they're like heaters or like just
Oh
literal
yeah, like
hot coals.
the
Yeah,
mat
yeah, the
things.
mat with like the hot coals
Uh-huh. The mat
that they
thing's pretty
step on.
cool.
They like step on it before they go on the field to like again give them toes some the money maker for them is their feet. So
Yeah,
they
I
should probably
know.
be doing that, right?
There is effective solutions out there, but I think there's not efficient ones where it's consistently reliable to
Yeah, that's the
everybody.
trick. Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think you can make anything work, but you're not. I don't. I don't know many. I don't know many stores where they're selling coals that can be placed underneath a mat.
No,
You
that's
know?
reserved for the billion-dollar industry that is the
Exactly.
NFL.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you're speaking exactly to the problem that we're trying to solve. I think it's just, convenience and efficient, any word you want to use of a solution that's just more widely accessible than really any of these other things that we're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I mean that's why we set on this journey, man,
Yeah,
with
I
Elos.
mean, if you wear 6 layers, you probably aren't gonna get cold. But
Mm-mm.
it's just probably not the one you need to go buy. You can wear six, flannels, or you could just buy one of those jackets that have the battery in there,
Yeah.
and just warm up with that, and that'll be so much better than what this is. And it's a weird one that's not really talked about. I mean, you have
Yeah.
these products more than me, like the Whoops, and then like that kind of, and like the Auras of the world, and it's kind of weird that nobody really talks about from a performance standpoint, thermal, and they just almost throw it off to it's a mental thing when it's not, and it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
if you have a car, right? If you with like a lot of those race cars, like the when you're burning, it's like the just your feet are just like that. They're gonna burn on like on hot turf. Like it's
Exactly.
stuff will melt. Um, and it's just kind of baffling that that's not really taken into account, and it's just thrown away to just it's a mental thing when it's not,
Right.
and it's just kind of weird that's not really taken into account, when there's just so much data points for human performance that are there,
Mhm.
and I feel like everybody's trying to find different verticals within there to put more data, and
Yeah.
they've already done so much in all these different ones that I don't, and it's just kind of like, oh my God, look at this is like a whole thing that's like right there. Like if
Exactly.
you're a player, like you obviously should want to know if you're running slower,
And
like
it
how is that not a thing?
dude, it literally fits like think about like the shift in the last 5 to 10 years as you're mentioning, like with something on your wrist that the new
Yeah,
launch of this thing is
yeah,
literally like you can track biometrics of your general health
yeah,
and think about the general wellness trend that has been going on legit for the last 5 to 10 years of people caring about their body, what they're putting into it, and how to take care of it. Yet no one talks about what we're talking about right now, which is the temperature problem, which is a real problem on both sides of the coin. We're talking about the cold today, but even on the heat side, everything impacts performance and recovery in different ways. And what we're trying to shed light on the temperature problem and what that does to your performance and how it negatively impacts and how not to say that these solutions are bad, but just there's no consolidating force in an industry that needs something that's more accessible is really, what we're just out here to solve, to be honest.
yeah. Your body is probably under some form of duress and stress,
Yeah.
when you're in extreme temperature differences,
Mhm.
and it's probably not good for your well-being.
Yeah, no, it's probably not, right? Probably not. Well, great. I mean, we're out of time. But this was fantastic, and again, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting us, getting to know us a little bit, hearing some cold weather war stories and some gear hacks and all those stuff. Again, if you guys have any good recommendations or funny things, funny ways that you guys have tackled the cold, we would love to hear it. Reach out on Instagram, TikTok, or anywhere, our contact form on our website. Um, if you want to check us out, all of our socials are Elos Thermal. Our website's elosthermal.com. We will be posting some more episodes weekly. We're really excited for what we have on the pipeline. Some cool guests, real athletes, outdoor adventurers, and enthusiasts that have some really cool war stories and experiences. And so we're really excited to bring them on and share. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in to episode 1 of The Next Layer, where passion meets performance. Until next time, stay warm, stay sharp, push limits. Thanks, guys.